Hey. What's up, guys? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live. And welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show RuPaul's Drag Race on VH1, Season 14, Episode 14, titled Catwalk. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. The show was good. The episode was good. Excuse me, guys. I really liked it. I really liked how it turned out. Well, I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I'll just say I'm proud of the results of the remaining contestants, but I'm not so proud of, I guess, how the episode ended. Well, we'll talk about it. I don't want to spoil it before we get to it, but let's get into it. Okay, so the episode started with the remaining 5 girls being on edge about the double elimination that just took place, sending Georges and Deja Scott home. Of course. Betty was a little on edge because Deja Scott sent her home in the original episode that Betty went home. Tables have turned and Betty sent her and Georges home. So the tables really turned. On the other hand, Bosco was getting her praises for winning last week's challenge. But in other news, it's time to get back to business because although they just made it to the top 5, the grand finale is next week. So game on. Top 4. Let's get into it. Let's dig into it. So pretty much up to that point, RuPaul, came in. It's time for the Maxi Challenge. The Maxi Challenge announcement. And this being the last Maxi Challenge of the season. They have to write and record. Plus, they have to write and record a song. Plus, work with the choreographer to feature in a music video titled For a Catwalk. In addition to that, the girls were invited to have a TikTok chit-chat. A TikTok chit-chat with RuPaul and Michelle Visage. All in hopes to make it to the top 4. So again, pretty much, it's like, let the games begin. Off to designing their looks, they went, for this Catwalk challenge. Meanwhile, making lyrics for their songs, or at least their verses for this song, Catwalk. All the girls seem to be very confident about this week's challenge. And I was surprised at that, and I was happy about that, because pretty much every girl that's remaining left has had a win. And typically, it doesn't always work like that in the show. For example, All-Stars. We know Trixie Mattel, she won All-Stars. Was that All-Stars Season 4? And had no wins. Not one win. She won All-Stars Season 4. And had no wins. So, it's possible for someone to not have a win and win the show. But for the top 5 to have, all of them to have wins, with 2 of the girls having 2 wins, that's great. That means it's a decent top 5. Like, everybody's worthy of being there. Not saying if they don't have a win, they're not worthy, but it gives it a little bit more validation. You get what I'm saying? I think so. Okay, so again, they seem to be confident about this challenge. All of them, they have strengths that they excel at. And let's get to it. Let's see what happens because they're all performers at this point. Every single one of them left are performers. Some stronger than others, but every single one of them have a performing bone in their body. Most of them can write lyrics, and they're entertaining. So, again, this top 5 is pretty solid. So, on to the TikTok chit-chat with Ru and Michelle. Bosco is up first with a high split in her skirt, revealing it all under the skirt. Legs wide open, all of that. I was like, girl. And Ru noticed it instantly, and you just flashing Ru, all of that. Flashing Ru, Michelle, and Ru just diving on into it. But behind Bosco's convo with them, ultimately they assured Bosco's place in the competition and she redeemed herself in the competition. We know just 2 weeks ago she was about to go home. The drag god saved her with that golden bar, that golden chocolate bar. weeks and weeks and weeks. We were waiting to see it, but she had it. She's redeemed herself definitely from last week. The last 2 weeks, for real. She's redeemed herself. Flat out. So next up, in the chit chat, Diabetti. Diabetti came in confident about knowing she'd make it this far in the competition. When Rue let it be known she did not see her coming that far. And honestly, I didn't either. I did not either. Like, she was eliminated first. And again, she was, spoiler alert, as they kept talking about in the episode, crystal method. She was giving crystal method stuff that we've seen before. And it just wasn't quite given what needed to be gave exactly. So, I didn't think she was going to go this far. But at that moment where she needed to show up and show out, she did just that. Showed up and showed out. And I got to give her props for that. You know, I got to give her props. So, again, as I literally wrote this next sentence, Rue talked about the crystal method comparison that was given from at first. But when she dropped the act, she soared, you know. When she dropped that act, it was that Housewives, you know, theme situation. That's where it started to, you know, take a nosedive with the crystal method. Giving crystal method knockoff, it went bye-bye. So she knocked it off and she soared. They then got into her name being deprived from being a diabetic. Honestly, even though the term diabetica, that Cornbread that gave her or whatever, or assumed it was her name, I never really took note that she was actually a diabetic. So she talked about that, you know, being a diabetic. She talks about her struggle with being in drag while having an insulin on her, or near in drag. And the conversation ultimately just gave me a slight different perception of her, and I commend her for that. Although I still don't like her actions toward the other girls, preferably Jasmine Kennedy. Ultimately, this combo with them, this combo that she had with them, you know, boosted her confidence going forth, and I was happy to see her. I'm like, okay, Diabetti, she's clearly confident and ready for this top 4, top 5. You know, she says she deserves to be there. She knew she would be there, and she's there. Clawed her way through there, and I got to commend her for that. Like I said, I didn't care for her. I still don't, but I will give props when they're due. It was just the attitude for me. Like, I just feel like Jasmine Kennedy was not all that bad as people made her seem. Like, yeah, the girl might have talked a lot, but she never blatantly went looking for trouble or just disrespected anybody. Especially not Diabetti. And Diabetti was just nasty. Okay. Moving on. Next up, you know, in the chit chat was Angeria. Instantly, Michelle revealed that she's a drag mom of 8 kids. And I did not know that. Angeria is a drag mom of 8 freaking kids. I was like, wait a minute now. Me being in Atlanta, and Angeria, you know, being in Atlanta, or at least based in Atlanta for drag, I've heard about her having drag kids in the drag world, but not 8 of them. So, wow, 8 drag kids. Like, I was completely unaware of that. They end up digging deeper into that combo, though. They end up digging in deeper into that, you know, the combo of her confidence and not wanting her to let. And, well, they end up digging deeper in the combo of her confidence and her revealing that she didn't want to let her drag family and real family down. They also told her to never let go of her genuine spirit, and I completely agree. You can feel the warmth and nice and just loving spirit in Angeria or Angie, and she shouldn't let that go. And if she has 8 freaking drag kids, and she don't look that old, by the way, either. I don't know how old Angeria is. To my knowledge, she's in her 20s. That's a lot of drag kids in your 20s. But she has a nurturing spirit, I should say. So, again, I love Angeria. Next in the chit chat was Willow Hill. You know, Rue automatically commended her on her approach to life, with conquering her health issues while translating that in her drag. You know, ultimately, Willow was inspiring. Like, she is inspiring, and she said something in a confessional that really, really touched me. She said that she's just not learning to enjoy life, and that she doesn't want to leave this earth without any box unchecked. And I relate to that last part, without wanting to leave earth with any box unchecked. That is my biggest thing. It's like, living life. You know, living life. I don't ever want to be on my deathbed saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. I should have did that. I would have did that. I could have done that. I should have went after that. I should have did X, Y, Z. I don't ever want to feel like that. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this with you guys. I have a voice and I'm just here to use it and see where it goes, honestly. But ultimately, like, I just don't ever want to feel like I didn't do enough or I didn't live this life as I should have. So I relate to Willow completely. That really, really touched me because I'm like, girl, you have no idea the word that you just said. That is a word. All right, rant over. Last in the chit chat was Lady Camden. The first thing Camden gets into, you know, the first thing they get into Camden with is her talking about the risk in the competition that helped her. She said when she started taking bigger risks, you know, she got bigger rewards. She got bigger rewards. She got her results started to get better, and she started to really thrive. And again, I agree, it helped her. Michelle Visage then asked Camden about her family, her siblings. Lady Camden revealed she had a brother that committed suicide, and that being a dark place for her. And she talked about how she uses that dark place in contrast to push her with the catapult to her life goals. Like, watch me work. I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this and that. And you got to applaud people like that. You know, they take a negative or a not so positive situation and flip it and use it as fuel. I relate to that as well. So I feel that I know exactly where it's coming from. Like, I love that segment in the last days of the competition where Rue and Michelle or whoever just meet the girls, the remaining girls, because it allows the judges and the viewers, us, to see the vulnerability of the girls outside of drag, a piece of who they really are, and it's relatable. Typically, it's relatable, or it just makes you again really get to see where their head's at outside of drag. What's their life about outside of drag? And does this person really deserve this title? I mean, they made it that far, so obviously they're worthy of it. But, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty, will this person really have a compassion or like a story to like really hold this title with and like use their story with that title? You get what I'm saying? So I like this chit chat. So next up, it was time for the music video. Time for the music video. The girls were pumped and ready to play. So onto the choreography with the assistance of Michelle Visage. The choreo was going okay for most, but Angie. And she struggled with it at first, but I knew she would pick it up some way, somehow. The catch of it all, ultimately, of all of that, was the video started just after they got the choreography unexpectedly. All of a sudden, they finished the choreography thinking they got it, or at least they had more moments to practice it, and whoop, Michelle was like, oh, we're about to start the video right now. Pause, wait a minute, pause, give me 5, give me 10, give me a moment to practice it first. But she's like, nope, we're going in there right now. So in came the dancers and the set. Like, ooh, get ready. Oh my God, that was a mess. But go hard or go home at that point. Go hard or go home. So again, the playtime is over. This is top 5. And what do you know? Angie forgot most of her choreography again, but she sold it all the way at the end. She's good at floating. She's good at that. She's good at floating when she's supposed to sink. She's good at floating, like, winging it and playing it off. And not, looking crazy or stupid. And I got to commend her for that. I have to commend her for that. So on to the solo performances after the group choreography for their solo for the video. Bosco was up first. All episode, spoiler alert, all episode, she ended up first in everything. Within the runway, within the music video, just with the chit chat, like, she was first. Okay, so back to it. She sold it and she excelled like on an actual runway pose, and she gave supermodel runway like. Willow was up next. She sold it the best way she could on the runway as a runway model posing. It's kind of a little, but she sold it the best she could. Lady Camden being third, I was so obsessed with her performance. I was like, OMG, I love it. Like, she got on the floor and started posing like lights, playing with the lights and like the spotlight being all on her, giving Madonna and bodying Madonna and showing this is it. I'm here to slay. And she killed it. She killed it. Angeria was up next. She did okay. But she didn't take the crawling advice or note that Michelle told her to. Lastly, Diabetes being Diabetes. Angeria didn't take that note. Diabetes took the note. And she got on there for crawling, and Dia took it in and ran with it. She took it in and ran with it, embodying so much sexiness, and it worked very well with the patterns of her outfit. Her outfit was bomb. Her outfit kind of looks like maybe like animal print or like technology print. Like, I wish I could show you guys a picture on it. A picture of it. But it kind of looked like animal print like, and it was kind of like cut up too, like a little two-piece like. It was dope. It worked. And she killed that too. But I definitely say Lady Camden killed it the best out of all the girls. Swept the girls. Swept the girls. So, next up, here it is, the last day of the workroom before the finale, before the grand finale. Last day of the workroom, the last day they'll probably see it. The girls are chatting, reminiscing about their first impressions of each other. Bosco made the point that Diabetes made the strongest comeback, being the second one to originally go home. And I gotta agree. Kudos to her. Like, Diabetes, again, she's shocked me. She really shocked me. Like, I remember rooting for her at the beginning. Like, when she got eliminated, the girls were mad about her coming back. And I'm like, no, I was defending her. Like, let her come back. Let her come back. I want to see what the girl got. She has a strong drag mother. Let's see what she got from her mama. Let's see what the girl got. I stopped liking her when she just started being a B word to a lot of people, preferably Jasmine Kennedy. And in the midst of that, she just fueled off of all of that and then called her way up to the top 5. And I'm just impressed. And I'm not like hating or mad that she made the top 5 in spite of me not really caring for her, because I'm going to give her props or her flowers if that's what it's given. But I am impressed. Again, I'm impressed. Meanwhile, Dia and Willow admitted to underestimating Lady Camden as well. They underestimated her due to her shyness, and that's another one I gotta agree with. Because in the first 3 to 5 episodes, her presence lacked. And I remember telling y'all too in the blog, like, Camden was like a little worried, like, oh my God, I haven't got a win. I haven't been in the top. I've been just safe. And I'm like, Lady Camden, step your cookies up. Yes, I remember your English presence, but outside of that, your drag was not so very memorable. And I'll say probably 2 weeks after that, girl was coming through and slaying the girls. And I commend her for that too. I commend her, and I'm so proud of Lady Camden. Lady Camden, again, her being the first English on this, the first English contestant on the U.S. season, and to make it to the grand finale. That is big. That is big. That is big. That is big. That goes to show, like, no matter where these girls come from, they can show up and show out with these girls that were U.S. made. That's why they're doing Drag Race all over the world and they're doing all these other seasons. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So now it's time for the official runway challenge. Ru graced the stage looking lovely as well with this multi-pattern like gown dress. She been slaying all season with her dresses. With her fashion this season. Like, I have been like, oh, where you get, who was your stylist this season? RuPaul. Because it's giving what need to be gave. It's giving, it's giving, it's giving. Baby, it is giving. Although, that dress she wore tonight, it did remind me of, I want to say, that was the week Maddie Morphosis went home. That little ragdoll type dress she had on, like, it did remind me of that a little bit, but way more polished and put together. Way more polished and put together. Way more. Okay, so on to the runway. First up being Bosco. Again, as I said. She wore this nude colored like dress with silver lines and lining all over the dress. With blonde hair. And she had this tail attached to the dress that was the same color as the gloves. And the color was very close to like Celeste blue. Maybe a little lighter than Celeste blue. And the fabric appeared to be like satin-like. And the dress was just stunning and gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, I was impressed with that. Next up, Angeria being second. She graced the stage with this lovely, gorgeous black dress. With a black mini hat with a leopard-like print, like feather, like at the top of the hat. On the right side of her blonde hair. Small hat, probably like that big. But had a long feather, like that was like leopard print sticking out. The dress had ruffles at the top, all up in here, ruffles at the top and at the very bottom of the dress. As it touched the floor, like. And she had diamond studs earrings that were long and just gorgeous and sparkling and gorgeous, grateful, gorgeous, flat out. Y'all know she was going to give that. She was going to give pageantry now. And she's going to slay pageantry. If Angeria is going to give anything, she's going to give pageantry. And she's going to slay it. Flat out. You cannot give Angeria too much room to give pageant. Because if you do that, she's going to sweep the fucking floor every time. I'm just saying. And she did just that. Next up was Diabetes. Again, I am so impressed with Diabetes this episode. I said 10, just 10. She got 10s, if you ask me. She gave your not so much pageant-like gown. It was pageant-like, but not so much. She wore a white and yellow dress with like a small church lady-like hat that sat on the left side of her head. On the front left side. Meanwhile, the gown had burns on the left side of the dress. This gown went all the way to the ground as well. Like, again, it's white and yellow all down. And it had like burn holes in it. And nicely done. Nicely done. And it gave it an edge, but yet the gown was beautiful. Yellow is Diabetes color. Diabetes, if you're watching this, yellow is your color, girl. Stick to it. Like, play with that color a little bit more. I'm just saying. And Crystal Method ain't giving no yellow. Crystal Method is not giving yellow, girl. So, I absolutely love the concept for the dress. It was so unique. I don't think I've ever seen anybody wear something like that on the freaking finale. Daria knew to give nothing but less than perfect this week. And she gave all of that and then some this week. She did not play. She said, I'm getting to the top 4. I'm getting to this finale. Like our drag mom, Crystal Method. She was like, I'm getting to this finale. I'm getting to it. And you know what? Sidebar. I didn't think Crystal Method was going to go to the top 3 like she did as well. But she did. Betty fell, like, she went right, followed in them footsteps. And that's dope. That's dope. So next up is Lady Camden. Another stunning gown. It's very expensive looking. A diamond headpiece that was like sheer. Not sheer. It's diamond headpiece that just kind of rolled down her like lines on her face. If you've seen Nicki Minaj's Met Gala look, maybe 2018, she had a piece like that on her head that was like black and red. Lady Camden had that just filled with diamonds. It was just all diamonds. And she said her mom made it sentimental, so that meant something to her. Meanwhile, the dress was silver while covered in like diamond patterns all over the dress, like zigzags, patterns, and expensive. She had white blonde hair, again, gorgeous, another gorgeous look. I'm like, these girls is not coming to play this damn episode. They did not come to play for this damn top 5 because I was like, girl, where's this look? Like, these looks are, I'm just gagged. Gagged. So lastly, Willow Hill. She gave this illusion of a rat while wearing rat ears, dressed in a gray, with gray hat. With gray hair. The gown trailed to the floor a little bit, just very lightly. She had violet-colored gloves on with like violet-colored lipstick with red eyes. Unique and very Willow-like, just not as stunning. Nowhere near as stunning as the other girls, though, in my opinion. Nowhere near as stunning as the girls. The girls gave pageantry and beauty in this challenge. On that runway. And Willow kind of gave a little bit toward that, but she went to the edge. She went all the way left, as she's known to do. So again, Willow-like, but nowhere near as polished and just graceful as the other girls. So after that, after the runway, on to the premiere of the Catwalk, the Catwalk music video. I love that song so much. They've been premiering that song all season, Ru. Everyone excelled in the music video. Like, my opinion, I didn't see like one super weak link. Everyone, they did what they could. Not on to the result of the runway. Bosco. She was praised by almost all the judges for her performance of the music video. Heavy on her dress. Bosco's dress was stunning. In her track record, they also complimented her on that as well, because she almost went home 2 weeks ago. But due to that chocolate saving her, she was able to stay, and she's been delivering greatness ever since. Slaying. Next up was Angeria. They praised her dress tonight, but pointed out of her lack of presence in the music video. In contrast, they praised her track record as well. They praised her track record, that she's pretty much soared throughout most of the competition. She had a few weaker moments in the competition, but she's never been in that bottom. She's never been in the bottom. I think she lost one lip sync. That was to George's. Her and Lady Camden lost to George's. But she's never been in the bottom. Angeria has excelled through most of the madness this season, and they commended her for that again. On to Betty. The judges praised her music video attire and the dress tonight, on top of the fact that she gave Betty at her best. She gave Betty at her best throughout the entire episode. She's like, girl, like, if I feel like Betty was, she did not come to play. She did not come to play tonight. Like, she did not come to play. Betty was like, I am going to make it to this top 4, and damn sure she, poof. You had any doubts about Betty prior to now? She made you eat that. Big time. She made you eat it. So, again, they appraised her for that. On top of the music video, performance in the music video. And Ross congratulated her on excelling throughout the competition from her start to now. Again, mind you, this was somebody that went home second. First in that premiere episode, in her premiere episode, which was the second episode of the season. She went home, came back the next episode. And I guess that was enough fire under her to be like, I am sending bitches home from left to right. I'm not letting them put me back in that predicament. I got something for them. And I wanted to see what she had at that moment. And sure enough, she has gave it. Like, she's giving it. She's giving the competition a run for its money. And I got to give it to her. Like, it's been moments where I was like, oh, girl, why are you still here? Like, you so nasty. Like, but it's been moments where I'm like, I cannot deny her drag is decent. Just saying. So on to Lady Camden. You know, they applauded her for her dress and amazing presence in the video. They also praised her for her just being her. Pushing harder to bring the star quality that they knew she had. And she brought it all this season. And I was happy to see it. Lastly, Willow Hill. They congratulated her for not using her disorder as a crutch this season. And actually excelling with her uniqueness. Time after time again, I agree. They even liked her mouse-themed look tonight. Some of them did. The judges also pointed out that she performed well in the video, but just forgot her face and words to the song. You can't forget your own words to the song, girl. You can't forget your own words to the song. And it's a lip sync. She probably was thinking about the dance moves and all of that. Because Ru said he was like, you could see her counting. So after all of that, here goes this moment where Ru pulls out pictures of the queen's younger self, asking them to give advice or what words they have to their younger selves. And as usual, it's always emotional and touching because we, as people from the LGBTQ plus community, we go through so much growing up, feeling like we can't relate to other children or other people. We're the oddballs. We can't really express ourselves. We're not really taken so good care of, and we just don't always feel at home. If you know, you know. So yeah, that when Ru always does that, that's really always emotional and touching for the girls. Hell, I probably will be emotional as hell too. So next up, it was time for the announcement of who's to go to the grand finale. Diabetes' name was called first, and honestly, extremely deserving. Like I said, Diabetes swept up this week's challenge, and I got to give it to her. Like, girl, she shut me up. She shut me up because Diabetes she did the damn thing this week. So she got it. She got it. See her at the grand finale. Next up was Lady Camden, the winner of this week's Maxi challenge. She's also to move on to the grand finale. Well deserving. She killed that motherfucking music video, y'all. Killed that music video. When I say killed it, she killed the music video. Ultimately, them two being safe, they left Bosco, Angeria, and Willow left. Ru ended up calling Bosco's name to be safe, leaving Angeria and Willow to lip sync for their lives. And the lip sync song that they had was Telephone by Lady Gaga, and Beyonce. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Taking me back to 2010, 2011. Like, wait a minute. Back in my Michigan days when I lived in Grand Rapids. Orion story. Yeah, we were heavy in the freaking Great Recession. Or like trying to recover from it at that time. But the song was still popping and out and about everywhere. So, massive song. And it was a cute performance. They both definitely were limited to what they could do due to the extensive gowns that they had on. You could tell. They both used the moment to uplift one another, and they kind of teamed up with one another in the lip sync. Cute, again. The thing is, one of them still had to be sent home, in spite of their friendship. They both were skeptical about that because they're the closest two left in the competition together. Once the lip sync was over, Ru called Angeria's name to stay, which I know hurt Willow a bit. hurt everybody because Willow, she was dope. Then boom, Ru called, Willow's name to go to the grand finale as well. And there we go. Top 5 in grand finale. I feel like he should have done that season 11 when Vanjie's second go. Because I feel like Vanjie should have went to that top. She should have been in that grand finale. Live. But, okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. So there's going to be a top 5 going to that grand finale. I can't wait to see how it goes because this is actually a strong top 5. Not the strongest, but it was a strong top 5. So on to the Untucked video, on to the Untucked episode. The girls uplifted each other, congratulating each other, etc., etc. Some were unsure about who were going to be in the bottom. Other queens were sure of who were going to be in the bottom. They somehow got on the topic of who they saw themselves in the top 5 with. If they did. If they saw themselves in the top 5. And Cornbread's name came up. Bosco said if Cornbread had not been injured, she knows Cornbread would have been there in that top 5. She knows Cornbread would have been in that top 5. And I was like, woo. Glad somebody said it because I cannot agree more. I agree 100%, no doubt, because she definitely would have been in that top 5 in my opinion. And I think she would have won at least 2 to 3 challenges along the way and probably would have swept the girls away in that Snatch Game challenge too. We all know she was funny as hell. Funny as hell. She probably would have killed that improv. Like, just no ifs, ands, or buts that I feel like if Cornbread was there, she would have swept the girl. She would have, Cornbread probably would have won this season. So, I just feel like Cornbread, man, I wish she had stayed or whatever the case may have been, or nothing didn't happen to her because she deserved another shot. If not the least, I feel like she should need to get the Miss Congeniality crown. She definitely deserves that. I kind of almost got into a little spat with people on Twitter about that because people were like, oh, after I put under a post that Cornbread needs to win Miss Congeniality, people were looking at me and questioning like, why? I'm like, let's not act oblivious to the impact that, 1, Cornbread had, 2, the impact she had on the other girls, especially Willow. And yes, she had a little spat with Jasmine Kennedy, but it wasn't bad. And she apologized for it, like, gratefully on her way out. So, everybody loved Cornbread. It impacted everybody when she left. So, honestly, I feel like Cornbread needs that Miss Congeniality title. And if she was to win that, that's another situation where somebody said in this episode, like, it was a lot of firsts for the season. Everybody damn near bombed the damn Snatch Game challenge. That was the first. That Ru, the Lollapalooza, that was the first. If Cornbread was to win Miss Congeniality, only being present for 3 episodes and got disqualified because of that, and win Miss Congeniality, that would be a first. A disqualified contestant winning Miss Congeniality off of 3 episodes. I would like to see it. I would like to see it. Again, she had heartfelt moments with Willow, and I just feel like the impact she left was dope, and she deserved it. Lastly, I also agree with Willow when she said in a confessional she thought the top 4 was going to contain Cornbread, Willow, Angeria, and Bosco. That top 4 would have been strong. If not that top 4, I felt like Carrie Colby would have been in replacement of Bosco. Bosco liked Bosco a lot, and I definitely knew she was going to make it far. But it was like one other girl where I'm like, okay, these are my favorite girls. I wish Alyssa Hunter had went a little further. I really did. And I also feel like Jasmine Kennedy, she deserves her flowers for the lip syncs. Period. She deserves her flowers for the lip syncs. And I just think she did a good job of what she was able to do with. If we were going back to that Lollapalooza, I don't feel like she should have went home based off them lip syncs. Although I do feel like it was her time to go. Just saying. This season was real different, y'all. This season was real different. Real different. Ups and downs. It got boring. Not so boring. That Lollapalooza, whatever. That was probably the most entertaining episode. It was like strong competitors, like, and then good people that I wanted to see last longer. Maddie Morphosis, I expected more from her. I wanted to see Alyssa Hunter. I feel like she got robbed. I feel like Alyssa Hunter should not have went home that early. And I also feel like, her and Carrie Colby should have never been the two to lip sync against each other. I wanted to see more of Maddie Morphosis, Alyssa Hunter. I wanted to see more of her. I wanted to see more of Cornbread. I wanted to see more of Carrie Colby. That's what, 4 or 5 people where I would feel like, like it just didn't quite go as anticipated or expected. So, I say at least 2 people are in this finale, this grand finale, that I definitely did not see going there. But I'm glad that at least one of them are there. Especially with the way they started showing up harder and harder every time they graced the floor, Lady Camden. I did not expect her to go this far at first, but the episode that really won me over with Lady Camden was the episode where she faked that fall. I was like, okay, Lady Camden, okay, like, girl, like, come through. She need to perform that. I'd love to see her perform that on tour or something. I gotta go to the tour. I gotta start going to these tours, guys. Now that they're back touring, the girls are back touring, and we can meet the girls, I need to start going to some of these tour dates. Especially the ones here in Atlanta. I gotta meet Angeria. So, on to the grand finale. If you guys are wondering what team I'm on, Team Angeria. That's my girl. That is my girl. I feel like she's had a good run on this show. Her run wasn't as crispy clean as I would have liked it to have been, but she did what she needed to do. She did it to the best of her ability, and she's a survivor. And I want to see Angeria win. That is going to be so great for her drag kids. The attraction that her drag kids is going to get due to that. I'm here to see it. I want to see it. So that's all I have for you guys this week, guys. I guess we'll see each other at the grand finale next week. It's your boy Ron, a.k.a. Ron the Artist, coming to you live. If you're watching this with me right now, on Instagram Live. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is pre-recorded and take it from Instagram Live. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let's talk about the episode. Let's talk about the recap. Same thing on Instagram. Follow me, share, like, comment. Let's talk about the recap review. Let's talk about the episode. What did you think? What are your thoughts? So again, until next week, guys. Peace.